My involvement in this work clearly began because of feminist advocates who cared about me and invested their life in me. I put very near the top of the list my dad. I did this work for 8 years before my dad sat me down in 1993 and said, "Casey, there's something you need to know about our family. You need to know that your grandfather abused your grandmother and your grandfather abused me." And suddenly it was my family. Well, I graduated from Stanford and UCLA School of Law and started as a prosecutor in 1985 in San Diego, and was brand new, knew absolutely nothing, was totally incompetent, didn't know where to sit in the courtroom as a prosecutor. And I became the domestic violence prosecutor of San Diego in 1985. And in early 1986, I was visited by 3 feminist advocates who invested their life in me, led by a woman named Ashley Walker, who was the founder of Battered Women's Services in San Diego County in 1978. And Ashley came into my office in 1986, sat down, listened to me talk for 30 seconds and said, "You're an idiot. You know nothing." And I said, "I am an idiot. I know absolutely nothing. So help me, because I want to do the right thing. I want to do what's right for battered women and their kids." We know in San Diego County that 70% of the children of incarcerated individuals end up themselves incarcerated by the age of 21. The challenge is to take those numbers, translate them into real policy initiatives that say, we therefore need to focus on the healthy relationship and the healthy family long before we end up where that continuum of verbal and emotional abuse has accelerated to the point that we're seeing physical violence, sexual assault, and ultimately homicide. All the Family Justice Center does is expand the number of partners. It says we need police and prosecutors and medical services. We need everything that a victim needs there, not just certain social services. One of the challenges of humanity is how we treat one another. Once you start talking about that, it's not just those people that have that violence problem. It's about all of us, and it's about respect. And when we really get into it with people, and I'm really honest about my own struggles with my own family, people are honest with me too about theirs. And I think that helps. The way you're going to change the world is to have everybody working collaboratively. When there's a family that has child abuse, sexual assault, domestic violence, some drug and alcohol issues, you got to have all the providers working together in that. And if you're going to prevent that, you can't just be doing gang prevention over here and not talking about family violence. You can't just be talking to kids about saying no to drugs or alcohol when in fact they're coming home every night and watching their parents drink and fight. You've got to be able to pull these folks together in this approach. And it does mean that everybody's got to show an amazing amount of tolerance and respect for different views. I think the key reason to the success of the Family Justice Center model is that we started it accountable to survivors of family violence. We didn't pursue this kind of institutional approach of we're going to tell you what you need because you've become a victim of violence and abuse. The model of the Family Justice Center is we're going to ask you what you need, and then we're going to provide what you tell us. We're going to be accountable and responsive to your needs. I've been part of a collaborative with a lot of people that have banded their lives together to make a difference with victims of family violence and their kids.